Dear student of class 5, today we are going to read English grammar. So, let us open on page 29. Lesson 6, Verbs. So dear students, we talk about verbs. Verb is very important part of the sentence. Without a verb, there is incomplete. Without verb, the sentence is incomplete. So, as we know, verbs talks about an action. You know what is action, and the verb talks about a state of being. State of being means what are you? Okay. Then the verbs shows possession or belonging, etc. So dear student, let us read. A verb talks about an action, denotes a state of being, or shows possession or belonging. This is called verbs. So let us read. We eat our food slowly and chew it well. So this sentence, the verbs indicates or talks about action. Here the blue colored words eat and chew is the action of the person. Okay, action. Then the next sentence is I am unwell. Unwell means the state of being. I am not well. Okay, state of being. How are you at that situation? Okay, so we can say that is a state of being. I am unwell. I am not well. Here am is verb that indicates a state of being. Anushka has a new watch. New watch. In this sentence, has shows belonging or possession. So dear student, let us not be confused with these three words: action, a state of being, and belongingness. So now verbs, tenses. Verbs has different forms to show whether an action happens in the present moment, has already happened, or will happen in the time from now. Verbs helps us to tell the tense of an action. Okay. First of all, we have to remember that the verbs helps us to tell the tense of action. Tense of action. The actions, whether an actions happens in the present moment, or already happened, or it's going to happen in the or will happen in the time from now. Okay, the verbs help us to tell the tense of and action. So in a way to say, tenses can be categorized as verbs. Okay, there are 3 types of tenses, as you know it. Present tense, the first one is the present tense, past tense, future tense. What do you mean by present tense? An action which happens in the present moment. The action which happens now in the present moment. What are the verbs? Is, am, are, has, have, do, does, is working, am doing, has done, etc. These are the present moment. The actions is happening. Then past tense, an action which has already happened. Which has already happened in the past. Okay, already happened. This one in the present moment it is happening. This is already happened in the past. These are the past verbs. Was, were, had, did, was, writing, were playing, had done, etc. Then future tense, an action that is yet to take place. That means already the action is not yet done. That is yet to take place in the future. The verbs are will do, shall go, will be making, shall be eating, will have done, etc. These are the verbs which tells the tense of an action. And so dear student, this exercise we have done it. Now let us open page number 30. Object of a verb. Okay, object of a verb. In a sentence, the object of a verb is the noun or pronoun towards which the action of the verb is directed. Okay, the action of the verb is directed. That can be noun or pronoun. What happens which the action of the verb is directed, or it tells us who or what receives the action. Let us see some examples. I play football. Here the football is the object towards the action. Okay, object towards the action, football. The verb is play, or it is directed. Okay, the action of the verb is verb play is directed. Okay, then the children liked the film. Here the film is the object of the verb liked. Okay, film is the object of the verb liked. Here liked is verb and the film is object. The film is the object of the verb liked. The lion chased the deer. Here the deer is the object. Here the deer is the object of the verb chased. Okay, verb is chased. The object of the verb is chased. Okay, here deer is object. So dear student, now let us see page number 31. Now comes the transitive and intransitive verbs. Transitive and intransitive verb. A verb that needs an object to make complete sense is called a transitive verb. A transitive verb refers to its action to the object. So dear student, in the sentence we have studied, a group of words which makes complete sense is called sentence. So in the group of sentence, what are the things, what are the words are there? So here we see the object, subject, then comes verb, then object. So here an object is there. Okay, so what is in the transitive verb, what it is saying? A verb that needs an object to complete. Okay, in a sentence, if there is no object, there is no completion. So dear student, the verbs which needs an object to make complete sense is called transitive verb. Okay, a transitive verb refers to an action to the object. Okay, you have to remember the transitive verbs refers to its action of the object. Let us see. Rohit brings. Then Gaurav visited. This group of words do not make complete sense because there is no object. Rohit brings. That means we are confused. Rohit brings. What does Rohit bring? Gaurav visited. In this sentence, what did Gaurav visit? We do not know. Okay, that means these sentences are incomplete. Do not complete sense. Okay, there are no object with the verbs brings and visited. Okay, there are no objects in these verbs bring and visited. Now let us read. Rohit brings the tea and Gaurav visited his grandmother. Can you see any difference from these sentences? Definitely there is difference. Okay, these sentences makes complete sense as there is an object with each verbs. Okay, in these sentences there are object. Okay, and these sentences make complete sense as it is an object with the verb. Okay, so as we read, a verb that needs an object to complete sense is called the transitive verb. So now let us read. A verb that does not need an object and can make complete sense on its own is called intransitive verb. The opposite of the transitive verb. Here it needs an object to make complete sense, but here it does not need an object to make complete sense. Let us read. The horse galloped. Sona danced. These sentences make complete sense or their own and do not need object with the verb to complete them. The verb galloped and danced, therefore are intransitive verbs. These are called intransitive verbs. So now how to identify the transitive verb and intransitive verb, and identifying whether a verb is transitive or intransitive. So we have to remember some points to identify the transitive verb and the intransitive verb. To find out if a verb is transitive or intransitive, we need to find whether the verb has an object or not. Okay, we have to see whether the verb is there. We have to see whether the object is there or not. So if the verb has an object, it is. If the verb has an object, it is transitive. If the verb does not have an object, it is intransitive. So we can ask questions in such conditions. Read these sentences. I caught a fish. So caught what? Fish. Fish is an object. So this is transitive. Caught is transitive. Then mother baked a cake. So here baked what? A cake. So a cake is object. So this baked is transitive verb. He smiled. Smiled at who or what? To whom he smiled or what? So not applicable. That means there is no object. So this is intransitive verb. The dog jumped. Jumped what? Who or what? Not applicable. Means there is no object. So it is intransitive verb. There are some points to remember. Some verbs are only transitive. For example, buy, catch, convey, throw. These are transitive verb only. Some verbs are only intransitive. Example, arrive, die, lie, sneeze. Then some verbs are both transitive and intransitive depending on how they are used in a sentence. Okay, there are some verbs both transitive and intransitive depending on how they are used in a sentence. Let us see some examples. He left the milk in the kitchen. So this verb is transitive because there is object. After dressing up, he left. Okay, here it is the same verb left is intransitive. There are some verbs which are used both transitive and intransitive. Okay, let us see next example. Mahesh ran a chemist shop. This is transitive. The Mahesh runs along the main road every day. This is intransitive. So dear student, there is exercise for you. And now let us open page number 33. Incomplete verbs and complete verbs and complete. Some verbs do not express a complete thought. Okay, there are some verbs do not express complete thought. once one or more words need to be added to them to make complete sense. There are some cases, so we add one word or more than one word need to complete the sentence. Okay, such verbs are called incomplete verbs. Okay, such verbs are called incomplete verbs. Then the word or words are added to the incomplete verb to convey a complete thought are called complements. There are also complements. In order to complete the incomplete verb to convey a complete thought are called complements. Let us read. Incomplete verbs, you can see he is, Sanjay looks, Raha felt, she was. So these are incomplete verbs. So in order to complete the verb, we have to add a word or group of words, that is he is sleepy. So this is complete sentence with a complement. Just we add the complement. Sanjay looks hungry. So we add a complement hungry. Then Ra felt tired and she was helpful. So dear student, there is not that some common incomplete verbs are be, is, am, are, was, were, appear, become, grow,